guys, welcome back to Tom Mods Things. Today's episode is going to be a little bit of a sad one because we are, I believe, tomorrow, so long as the person turns up, saying goodbye to the Project Punto. As you know, this was only an interim car. It was actually supposed to be sold a while ago, but unfortunately you can see the purple thing in the back. We smashed that up, which means that we had to daily a 25-year-old Italian hatchback, which has been, I have to admit, quite good fun. It's been absolutely faultless, to be honest, and I'm sure the next owner who's taking this on and building it into what was going to be sort of the end result. We were always just going to build it as like a decent base Max Power car for somebody else to take on, basically pulling together all the bits, starting to put it all together and just creating something that, with a little bit of time, a little bit of body work and then some paint or colour, depending on if they paint it or wrap it, would suddenly turn it into a proper show circuit car from back in the day. So that's what's happening. So because of that, this needs a clean, because we've been driving it all week, and as you can see from the weather outside, it is absolutely minging. So it's all covered in crud. So we're going to get the hose pipe out, we're going to give it a quick clean. What we'll do is we'll do a final walk round of the car and all the bits that we did to it over the period of time that we've owned it, and add a few of the spare bits that are going with the car as well, if they want them, to be honest. Otherwise they're just going to end up sitting in here taking up space anyway. So let's crack on with it. Right guys, and here she is, all cleaned up, looking pretty damn good, to be honest. So just to do a bit of a walkthrough of the car. This is our Project Punto. This is a Mark 1 1999 Fiat Punto. It is, or was, well, it still is technically, a 60 SS model, so XSX. So it means that it was the little 1.2 litre engine with incredibly limited power, literally just for pooling around the Italian back streets and towns and stuff. Now this one has been slightly buoyed up, so we picked this one up last year, would have been about July time. It was a completely standard model. We've actually still got the original bumpers and stuff that are sitting up here, as well as a few of the other original parts. But yeah, it was completely original. Had a couple of small bits that had been done to it, like the coilovers and stuff had just been put on because the previous suspension had rotted out and the springs were just all crusty and stuff, so they'd replaced them with coilovers, which was great from our point of view because it meant that we could jump straight in. It was originally on tiny little 13-inch wheels, so it was absolutely on its arse. But so we've had to raise it up a little bit to put these bad boys on. So that was what we did. Then literally the second day after, we drove all the way up to Birmingham, and we'd found, or we'd had in our sort of Facebook Marketplace saved files, a full combat body kit. So for those of you that sort of are from back in the day, this was pretty much the go-to kit for a Mark 1 Fiat Punto. There are a few others that were on there, but this was the one that you definitely wanted to have. Funny enough, it is actually the kit that was on the Max Power Haynes manual. So if we come in here, just grab this bad boy out. Oh! So Haynes did a load of Max Power modifying guides for your car, and as you can see here, that kit is the feature car on it. So that's pretty cool to have. So yeah, so we've got a full combat body kit, so side skirts, rear bumper, front bumper. Then what we did, because we had them sitting around in the garage, is we put these over fenders on, front and rear. So these are actually off of a VTR Saxo. VTR, VTS, Furio all had that same thing. So these are the arches, the over arches that come on that car. So what we did is we cut them up, and you can see on some of the previous videos on this, we cut them up, moulded them to the car, and started to blend it all in with the side skirts front and back. So that's where we got to with those. Then up here we replaced the wing mirrors with some little DTM wing mirrors, pretty much go to as well for cars that, or the M3 really were the ones to go for. Then we did clear indicators and everything, so these were orange. These are clear now, and clear as well, because I think that just sort of nicely tidies up the car, makes it look a little bit more modern. We blanked out the front badge on the car, so as you can see, still needs paint work and stuff, but that was the whole point. We were going to leave it because colour's quite a sort of a personal thing, so I wanted to kind of get it a really good base for somebody, and then they can kind of apply their own colour or wrap it or whatever they want to do with it. Then what you can see with the and coming into the wheel situation. So we had a couple of different sets of wheels. As I say, originally it came with the little 13-inch wheels, then we went up to some 17s Ace AXE wheels. They were on it for a little while, but then these they needed tyres basically, so these then popped up with tyres in pretty good condition. A couple of tiny curb marks on one of the wheels around the back, but really good condition from the point of view of these are old wheels, and as you can see on the inside, apart from some old wheel weights that have been taken off, pretty damn nice, to be fair. So yeah, so these are All-Tech Italia wheels. There was a couple of different brands that did very similar wheels to this. So Kahn, I believe, probably one of the first, and then there was a few sub brands like this one where they did sort of the same style, a couple of small changes like these little holes I don't think were on the Kahns, and then the sort of circular shape round here was more profiled as it went round each of the lug nut holes. So that's kind of the main difference that you can tell between the two. But yes, we've got these are 17 by 7 inch, and I think really they set it off quite nicely. They're quite chunky and big as well, especially on this small car, so it kind of makes it look pretty sort of pretty nice really with those sitting on there, and I think it sits really nicely, to be honest. On the back there's no adjusters in the back to get it sitting a little bit lower, and the front's kind of been raised up a little bit just so we can actually turn it without it rubbing and stuff on the arches and stuff. Then as we fly around to the back, so what you'll notice, which is one of the big things on this, were the afterburner rear lights. So these were kind of one of the last things that came onto this build. Actually, we posted this car up on TikTok, and it went a little bit viral with people going a little bit nuts for it. And then one of the people that watched the video actually said that they had these knocking around in their shed, and would I be interested in picking them up just for covering postage and stuff. So we thought, yes, why not? I never really liked them back in the day. I've got a lot more love for them now because they're just so period correct, and as you can see obviously with my other cars, yeah, like crazy stuff. So yeah, so got the afterburner rear lights on it. Original ones are still in there just in case they're not to the acquired taste of the next owner. Then you can see we've got a little DTM upswept tip, classic mod from back in the day, and then also the smooth tailgate as well. So that used to have all of the it actually comes as a single panel from ABS Motorsport, and then you bond it onto the original deck lid. So you remove all of the number plate recess and everything, and then you bond it straight over the top, which is cool. And then we've got a little square number plate standard back in the day as well, with our little number plate light above it, which is looking pretty good. So yeah, from an exterior point of view, that kind of sums up that thing, which I don't know, I think it looks really cool. I'm going to be a little bit gutted really to see it go, but needs must. Got a lot of things on our plate at the moment, car wise and stuff, and I need to get something a little bit more sensible for flying around every day, and this isn't it, and that currently isn't it either at the moment because it's causing me some problems. So have to get something to replace this. So we'll crack on into the interior. Right, and then into the 90 spec interior. Still need to do a little bit of hoovering and stuff in this, but yeah, we've done a couple of small bits in here. So we've got black door cards and stuff all being sort of done, black dash, and all the centre console as well. It all used to be really drab grey, so we wanted to spruce it up a bit. Silver dials, changed gear knob and gear gaiter and stuff. Got a little DVD head unit in there, standard Max Power era Momo sort of steering wheel. We've got the silver dash insert as well, which is quite nice, and it's also been converted. So on these cars, which is interesting, these and the more basic models didn't actually come with a rev counter. They had a clock. Yeah, don't ask me why. I mean, it was nutty back then. So yeah, it came with a big bloody great big clock here instead, so no rev counter, so you didn't actually know what revs you were doing. So these clocks have had the innards replaced to allow for a rev counter on that right hand side, so that you can see how much you're redlining when you're doing that fat skid outside McDonald's, which is great, to be honest, because yeah, definitely what was needed, and the mods that people used to do back in the day. Then we've got our lovely 90s spec seats. Oh, what a pattern, what a pattern, lovely. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, out of all the things that I really wanted to get to the point of changing in this car, but I knew that it wasn't going to be something that would fit within this build series is doing the interior. You can see that obviously some nice bucket seats and stuff in the back of this, and then I don't know, I probably would have stripped out the rear bench and put some big subwoofers in, but that is something that I reckon will take this car off and probably retrim the top of these door cards as well to get rid of that lovely pattern. I mean, who knows, this new person might absolutely love this and it'll be their favourite pattern. I mean, they might have the house in this pattern. Can you imagine? Like a sofa? Yeah, lovely. So yeah, so that's entirely up to the next person that owns this. They can keep it, take it out, but they're fine as they are. I've got no issues with them and stuff. And with the rear bench and stuff, it's all just kind of nice, just standard, really, to be honest. Yeah, sort of headliner stuff. That's got some LEDs that have been replaced and stuff, and yeah, it's just pretty standard. All the speakers got upgraded with Alpine units, so there's 2 in the dash, 1 there and up there, and then there's 2 down the back. You can just see the little grate there, and just behind this over here, so you can be slamming out those banging garage hits and dance 90s dance tracks when you're cruising down the road with all your mates in the back, because you know, you've got 5 seats. I mean, how the hell you'd get 3 people in the back of this, I've got no idea, but anyway. Oh, actually, and there's one lovely thing as well. You think, oh, there's no cup holders apart from in here. I think there might be some in here. Yeah, okay, there's 2 in there, not great ones. But then, oh, what about the driver? Well, flip this bad boy down, flip this one up, and there you go. Got yourself your cup holder while you're driving. I absolutely love this thing, to be honest. That's come in handy quite a few times. Yeah, pretty cool, like that old school stuff. Yeah, so that's really all the interior, to be honest. Just needs a bit of hoover and then we're ready to go. Well, I guess we could do some quick updates on Project Porsche, as I know a few of you have been asking and stuff on Instagram. So looking a little bit better for itself. We have given it a clean, which is needed, because yeah, it's looking, or was looking, absolutely filthy. Obviously we're all back together. We've been having some issues with the coolant crossover pipes popping off when I'd been driving it to test it, so we need to try and overcome that issue. I think it's just going to be a case of getting on a vacuum bleeder rather than trying to bleed it like I have been, because I don't have one of those. But what we have done as well is we have ordered another wheel. So at the moment we're on these at the front, but we do have a new one turning up, so we've got sort of about 6 weeks approximately waiting for that one to turn up. But as soon as that does, that means that this car then, with the wheels back on, and as soon as we tidy up the front bumper, which at the moment we can get another one of these done, that's not a problem. But this is currently the main damage on this bumper, so it just needs some fiberglass work because it's cracked, as you can see, all the way up here under the wrap. So we need to do effectively what we seem to be needing to do on all of our cars, which is repair fiberglass. So we'll do the same as what we've been doing with the Kingdom bumper over here. So we'll back up from the inside, and then we'll glass, and then fill over the top, and then sand it all back. So then that should basically be this one back ready to go again. To be honest, it just needs to go and get MOT'd, and then we can be back cruising around in this, which will be pretty sick. We're going to get a new colour for the wheels. We're contemplating a new wrap as well, but we'll see how it goes, because I know that I think Andy's going to die if I tell him that he needs to redo this rear wing again, because yeah, I don't think that was a lot of fun from what I've heard. So yeah, we'll need to sort that out. But yeah, the least we'll do is put a decal graphics set on this. Thinking something crazy in chrome or something across here would be pretty cool, with like black detailing in it, and then we can go for like a dark colour on the wheels or something, with a sort of polished outside and then dark centres, like a grey, metallic grey centre. It'd look pretty good. And then yeah, then we're pretty much set with this car. It's not mouldy and stuff anymore, which is nice. So yeah, getting on pretty well with that. And then 106, we can do a quick update on this, but really it's just a case of me sanding. So yeah, so as you saw on previous episodes, these two bits properly bonded together now. You can see this is really starting to take shape. I can't wait for this to be finished, because I think it's going to look epic. And as soon as I get over to Infinity to get them to sort out the exhaust pipe, this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be pretty sick. So yeah, we are basically just smoothing these two bits together at the moment. Then we're going to put filler over the top and then keep going again. We've got a new orbital sander sitting down here, so that's happening. We've also picked up some more dust masks, because need that, because of all the dust that's flying around everywhere, and then back to a garage being covered in rud and everything. So that's joyous. But yeah, so that's gonna be pretty sick. getting really close. Yeah, just final. It's just the prep work, and it just takes forever, especially when you haven't got loads of time to do it and just slog it out. But yeah, so that car's been accepted into quite a lot of shows already this year, so I need to pull my finger out and get it sorted, to be honest, because yeah, we need to do that. We need to get the rear bench all done, and the speakers and subwoofers all wired in, and get it so that at least it might, fingers crossed, be able to go into the sound competition at the Max Power Union show. That'd be pretty sick. We won't ever win anything because it will just be us chucking some boxes together in the back and getting some nice looking, but maybe not mega performance speakers in the back of it, because hey ho, you know, aesthetic, you've got to look cool. Then yeah, we'll see what happens, and then I think we're going to potentially try and get these bad boys refurbed, which are those big massive chrome bolts, and we're going to do them along the same time as getting these ones done as well, because we quickly did a refurb on those just into a silver, just to tidy them up a little bit because they were looking a bit grubby, but I would always like them to be sort of a chrome, like a powder chrome type thing, and so if we're doing the big vaults at the same time, we may as well bung those in and get them all nice and chrome and shiny. So yeah, we'll get to that point and we'll send them off, and then ready to go. Right, so we are about a week on from the end of that video. About a few bits happened in between, but main story was the Punto did sell, so it went that day, or the day after when that video was filmed. Young lad, local lad, Ken picked it up. His plans were, I think, to still keep it within the scene, which is good. But he just wanted a bit of an interesting daily, and it obviously popped up close to him, so he just thought, I would just take a swing and see what happens with it. So yeah, looking forward to potentially seeing that. Said he might bring it to Max Power Union show, which would be cool, especially if he manages to get the colour on it and stuff. So that was all great. Then in the meantime, we've been doing loads of work on the Saxo, so the next video after this is going to be some updates on that. People that follow my Instagram would have seen some of the content and stuff that I've been posting up on there as like little teasers. So some really exciting things coming from that car at the moment, and I think it's going to come together really quick now as well, which is great. But yeah, so that's really it for this episode. So obviously we did the little Punto build series, that's the end of it. So until maybe we find another one at some point, I'm always getting posted cars and stuff of people that are looking to potentially sell them. So who knows, maybe we'll pick up something else. But yeah, anyway, cheers everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Max Power content. We've got plenty of projects on the go and plenty of stuff that we are doing. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.